Hey there, welcome back to my channel. This is Amy Hetrick. I hope you've had a great week. I've been really enjoying this weather, this more spring-like weather, and getting outside and enjoying all of the flowers that are starting to bloom. We went through daffodil season, now we're in through tulips. And last week I have a friend who grows and sells her tulips, and so I was really excited to get some of those, and I'll show you a picture of those. And then so I decided this week I will just show you how I paint very loose watercolor, kind of abstract loose watercolor tulips, and like this one here. Isn't that fun? So what you will need is you will need watercolor for this because it's watercolor flowers. So this is my set of watercolors. You use what you have. And then I'm using a number 6 round brush, and because that's the size. If you have a bigger one, that makes nice big flowers. So whatever you have, again, I'm a proponent of using what you have. Okay, so grab your supplies and come join me at my art table. So in order to do tulips, I'm going to mix up a couple of colors. Let's see. I think I'm going to make a purple. So I'm going to use my darkest red I have. And then I'm going to, make up a good amount to have over here. Add some blue. It's gonna probably be, I don't know, kind of liking the way that color is. Looks like more of a magenta. Okay, I'm gonna go with that. And then I'm gonna make a little bit of a darker color that I'm gonna add in the second layer. It's good to mix up your colors ahead of time. So, because watercolor requires you to work pretty quickly, so having your colors already mixed up, there you go, we got like a maroon, ahead of time is a good idea. And then I'm gonna have my green, gonna add a little bit of blue to that, make it a little bit darker. Okay, all right. Okay, I am using, in case you're curious, I am using just a round brush, and this one is a Princeton Heritage number 6. Excuse me, I know it's running allergy season, gotta love it. Okay, so I'm going to load my brush up with the lighter color that I got here. Gonna really load up. I twist it like that, load it up. Okay, I'm gonna make like a bouquet. So tulips have that nice oval shape, so I'm gonna just drop and pull down, drop and pull down like that. So that's like a closed tulip. That's kind of what I'm going for. If you want to add some that are a little bit more opened up, you can do that. And you can do it like this, where you kind of got like 3 petals happening here. Just do it nice and loose, and however it goes. Don't worry about it being perfect. This is kind of more of a loose abstract painting, because we all know that I don't do things super realistic. That's just not me. But if that's you, you might want to find a different video. Okay, I'm gonna go back, and I think I'm gonna do an more open one here. So I'm just kidding. I kind of like the way that one turned out. Okay, before I do the others, I'm worried it's going to dry, so I'm going to add my dark color in before it dries. So I'm going to start at the bottom. And just kind of let it just soak in, and you get that little variation like that. Because if you look at tulips, they have those little pretty little lines. It's a little dark. I need to lighten that a little. Anytime you want to lighten it, you just dip your paint in the water and then go back and drag it through. Okay. This is really dark. I'm going to use some of that. Okay. And you just want it to be loose and quick. You can make whole bouquets of these. Okay, now I'm going to go back and add a couple more down here. I got a little too watery. Anytime it gets a little too watery, just dab it off a little bit. Okay, so scoop it down. One thing I've noticed having these tulips on my desk all week is they have different levels of just how they open. So sometimes you have, just some opening up and some close, or sometimes the tulip will really open up. So however you want to do it. I'm not really looking at the tulips because I've been looking at them all week. I do that a lot, is I'll observe them for a while and then I'll go back and do them in my style, because I find that if I try to do something directly from observing a lot, I don't get the loose. I want to end up making it super realistic, and that's not what I'm going for. Sometimes if you give yourself some space from it, the subject, and go back later, you get more of what you're looking for. There we go. Watercolor is just so cool to see how it just comes out. Okay, now while that's still wet, I like to go back and add the green stems because I like to see the green blend in at the bottom of the flowers. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to just barely touch it to the flower and then bring it down. Just touch it and bring it down. Now this one is going to go behind, so I'm going to touch it, bring it down, I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to bring the rest of the stem down like that. So pay attention to that, because if you drag, you can see that got a little bit more green into the flower, but that's okay. So just pay attention to that. Down. And this one's kind of like bent. Same thing with this one. Okay, and this one. There. Okay, that's easy. All right, now I'm going to go back. I think I need to make a little bit more green. And I'm going to do some of the leaves. Tulip leaves are pretty easy to do. They're fun to do too. Okay. Add a little bit of blue. Now, if you don't have a green on your palette, there's two ways you can do a green. You can do yellow and blue, which is okay. That's your traditional yellow and blue. Usually mine's ultramarine blue, and that's good. But my favorite combo to make green is yellow, like a nice medium cad yellow, and my ivory black. Took a little too much. Makes really nice green. Isn't that pretty? So you can make a green if you don't have one already mixed. But since I was already using that one, I better stick to that or it won't match. Okay, Now let me show you how you do tulip leaves. Tulips kind of have like, they're kind of pointy and then they're wavy. So if you put your brush down and drag it and wiggle it, you get that kind of wavy. Now you can, I'm going to leave a little bit of white space. You can do that, which is one way to look, or you can do you can do it all one color, and then you can come back later and put a darker color, whichever way you want to do it. And you can change it up. I'm going to put a little bit of a leaf here. So fun. Okay. Okay, and I think that's all I'm going to do for that. There we go. Nice. I'm going to go back and add a little bit more dark on the stems, just to bring those stems out a little bit. The one thing with watercolor is that it dries much lighter, so you need to see how it's drying and then come back and add some colors. I don't really like this. I'm not really liking the white, so I think I'm gonna go back, paint that in. Okay, I like that better. Okay, and there you have it. I might let this dry, and then I might show you how I come back with some pen to add just some fun little detail to add some interest to it. All right, let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and sign my name. Always sign your name. Okay. All right, I'll be back when this is dry. Okay, you can leave your painting either like that, or you can add some ink. Now, I have been using the Faber-Castell Pitt pens because these ones come in dark sepia, which I like. So instead of having that really dark black, it has a more natural color. So let me see, I'm going to find my smallest one that I have, which is a 0.3. And I'm just going to come in and I'm just going to randomly do just some broken lines on the stem. Okay, I think I'm realizing that that may be a little bit too thin and it's not showing up. So let me go over to the thicker one. Okay. Yeah, there. Now, like I said, you don't have to do this. I just like to. And you can add some lines to your leaves like that. Just in, like, I'm not drawing it like super connected. I'm doing very loose to gives it a more natural broken look, if that makes any sense. Okay. Okay. All right. So yeah, it just adds a little bit more dimension. You can go back into the flowers if you want and just add a little squiggly lines at the bottom, kind of, if If you want to add some up, just kind of doing at the bottom and letting the colors of the watercolor do the rest. Okay, and then I think that's it. And that's a very loose painting of a watercolor. I hope you enjoy it, and maybe you could give it a try too. Since it's tulip season, it's so fun to see the tulips blooming. I just think they're such a pretty flower. Okay, I will see you next time, and bye-bye now.